Hey y'all, Danna here. How y'all doing today? You know what's going on here? We have got Hurricane Ida's aftermath and we've got lots of rain going on here, and it's kind of a dreary day, just to be honest with you. Of course, we're sending out prayers to those who are affected. She's been a rough one. But what I'm doing today is going to pull out some comfort food that has been in our family for generations. David's grandmother, Momma Holt, who I talk about and write some stories about in my cookbook called Marvelous Momma Holt. Well, she was marvelous. She had 11 children and raised more than that. And this woman knew how to stretch the budget, and she knew how to fix things that kids liked. So if you want to read stories about Momma Holt and get her recipes, you can find my book, Happiness is Homemade, y'all, at Amazon. So go to Amazon and order it. It'll come right to your house. And if you've got the book already, it's on what I'm going to make for you today is Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles. Now, when my kids were little, they loved that. Anything she cooked, they would gobble up. And beef tips and noodles will stretch your budget, and it's really easy to make, and it is comfort food, and it's on page 66 of Happiness is Homemade, y'all. And also, if you'd like to see more of my videos, I have a lot of videos on YouTube, and I have a lot on Facebook. Now, when you get to YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, because I need you on there, and when I let out new videos, you'll be notified that my videos have come out. So that's just like saying we're friends on Facebook. So anyway, I would appreciate it if you do that. But now let's get to the serious part, which is cooking this beef tips and noodles for Momma Holt. And I'm going to read you this recipe because this is how she would tell me to do the recipes. I would call her and say, Momma Holt, my kids want your beef tips and noodles. How do I make it? And this is what she would say. So I'm going to pull it up and read it to you. She would say, you need some beef tips. And I would say, how many? And she would say, how many ever you have. So I'm going to put about 2 to 3 pounds in mine today. But you know, if you only got a pound or half a pound, it stretches your budget. You need 1 can of mushroom soup. And you need some egg noodles and salt and pepper. Well, salt. Anyway, you put the beef tips and enough water to cook the noodles in the pan. So then you're going to bring it to a gentle boil and cook it till the beef is tender. And then add salt to taste. And after that, you're going to add the mushroom soup and the noodles and cook them until the noodles are done and it's ready to serve. And I mean, my kids used to gobble this up. So today, it's a blast from the past. We're doing Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles. Okay, let's cook. I'm going to put you so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, there we go. Okay, we're going to have to put some beef tips in here. Now, this is already heated up. Now, y'all, this may look a little different than your beef tips, but this is venison. Now, if you'll notice, I trimmed these up myself and cut this up myself. I still have the bone right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you do want to put this in here, and you can fish this out before you feed people, because this right here, the bone, you want the bone and the good things that come out of the bone when you cook it to be in the roast, because it's a healthy situation. You've heard of bone broth. Well, you know, we need that in there, so I'm going to pop it right in. Can y'all see that I'm adding enough water to cook the noodles? So I would, you know, you look on there, the noodles, and see how much they are, but you do want this to have juice in it after it's over. So I'm going to say I'm going to put about 6 cups of water in here. Okay. And now we're just going to bring it to a boil and cook it gently until it's ready to add the noodles. That's what we're going to do today. So we're going to take a lesson from a lady who had 11 kids and raised 13. We're going to be on a good budget, and we're going to feed our kids something that they like. So it's Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles. All right, see you in a minute. Now what we've got to do, we've been cooking this meat for probably 45 minutes. We've been boiling our meat till it's tender. Now, what do you want to do with your meat to determine if it's ready or not? You want to get a little bit out in a bowl or on a plate, and you want to taste of the meat and the juice. So I'm going to do that right now. I got some out so it could cool. Okay, my meat's tender and my juice tastes good, except it needs some salt. And this is when Momma Holt would always add the salt, was right here. So what I'm gonna do is add some salt. All right, this is one of my green drip. You know, I have brown drip, I have green drip, and this a lot comes out really fast. So just like that, I've got half a teaspoon I'm gonna put in there. I don't think that's gonna be enough, but you know, you can't take the salt out after you put it in. I'm gonna taste it again. And we always have to taste our food so that we know it's gonna be good for our guest. So I'm going to get me a little smidge of juice in here. Let it cool off a minute and taste it again. And this right here looks like a crock pot, but it's really, it's like putting something on the top of the stove. It's like a regular eye. I've had it for years. I love it. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna add another half, just to be honest with y'all. It needs some. And when we add those noodles in there, you know, they need salt as well. So I'm gonna do another one. And we're gonna leave it at that for right now. And now the next thing we gotta do is add our cream of mushroom soup. So here we go, it's going in. Just like that. Come on now, let's go. Yep. Okay, and we gotta break it up and stir it up in there. And it's gonna turn your broth a creamy looking broth. Now this is just the basic recipe that Momma Holt used, but you know, you're welcome to add different spices to it, add some Worcestershire sauce, add extra mushrooms if you want to, you know, just whatever you think you want to do to jazz it up. But now I'm going to tell you, this recipe right here, kids love it. If you have a picky eater, they will love this. All right, now I got to bring this back to a boil, and then I'm going to put in the noodles, and we just cook the noodles until they're done. And then we got us a really nice bowl of comfort food, and it's Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles. Guess what? It's starting to boil. So here we go. When it boils, we're going to add the noodles. But before we do that, I'm going to taste of the broth, and I pulled some out to see how it was. That's delicious. So now we got our little pot boiling, and we're going to pour in our egg noodles. And it goes right in there and cooks with it. It's going to soak up a lot of that juice. It's going to have a lot of good flavor. So I'm going to stir that together, and we're going to wait 10 minutes. And then we're going to have some really good beef tips and noodles from Momma Holt. Hey y'all, we're back. We have been cooking these noodles and they are looking good. So the noodles have cooked long enough and they're done, and then we're gonna taste it all together and see if we've got it just right. And of course, you know, I pulled a little out so I could taste it. We've got to taste our food to know if it's gonna be good for our family. That broth is good. The noodles are delicious. It's salted just right, and that meat is just wonderful in there. And that broth, oh my goodness, it's good. It's good. If you've got some kids or you've just got somebody that you need to give some comfort food to, You know what? Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles might fit the bill. There they are. She knew what she was about in the kitchen, and she knew what she was about feeding a whole bunch of mouths. So anyway, y'all go make you some beef tips and noodles from Momma Holt. Doesn't that look good? All that needs is my spoon in it. And I'm gonna enjoy it on this really rainy afternoon and feed it to my family. And we're all gonna thank the good Lord that we're all doing well now. My people that have had the COVID, they're all getting over it, even though some of them have a long way to go. So we're very thankful, very thankful. But y'all take care. I'm going to say a prayer for you, and you say a prayer for me, and let's keep cooking and praying and loving on our families, and thank the good Lord above for all the blessings. And remember what I always say, the good Lord loves you and I love you too. And y'all have a good day and make some of Momma Holt's beef tips and noodles. You're gonna love it. And hey, tell me, leave me a message if you've made it or if you've ever made anything like it, all right? All right, bye.